Hey guys! So this week's video is going to be a room tour. Yes, how exciting. So we are going to be taking a tour of what I refer to as either the gay lair or the stream dungeon, depending on my mood. So without further ado, let's go inside. Right, let us enter the dungeon. So, starting over here, this is the lamp that I use for most of the lighting. Unfortunately, this room doesn't have overhead lighting, so I have a lamp. That light bulb is able to change colors. Unfortunately, it can only be one color at a time, so it doesn't do like RGB or anything like that, which kind of sucks. Down here is the pencil light that I grabbed from IKEA. This does do RGB, however, it is not a smart light. It is just a standard light that you can control using that button there. There are some of my dolls. You'll definitely be seeing plenty of dolls. I'll do a separate video discussing where I got each of these. But yeah, that's Jordy, the mermaid doll. The doll below her, that is one of my Fail Fix dolls. And below her, that is my Cave Club doll. And there's his little pet. Below that is what I consider to be my current best, or I guess most valuable doll right now, which is the LOL OMG Fierce Cleopatra. She was a collector's doll that was released a few years back that I managed to snag for a pretty good price. And then below her is all of my Rainbow High dolls, plus my Dream Bella doll that fell. Dream Fella. These are all of my Rainbow High and Shadow High dolls. They're just kind of hanging out down here. Yes, one of them is missing a head. She came like that, she was broken, and I just haven't put the head back on because it's funny to have a headless doll. Alright, going over here, door, nobody cares. Down here, this is a sort of little extra desk that I have. That right there is Gaia. She is the computer that I use for all of my editing. So anybody who's watching any of my videos, that is the laptop that does the editing stuff. That's my braceless carpal tunnel. That is a VR headset that I have with a third-party headband around it. I do use this sometimes, and I do intend to stream with it at some point. I just haven't yet. I haven't figured out how to hook it up yet. Below that, that's the iPad that I use for all my art stuff. And then up here, this is my Skulltimate Secrets locker. Right now, it's just holding cables and hair accessories. Nothing crazy. I got my little whiteboard over here that I usually use for either writing down problems for school stuff, or right now I have a to-do list. The only thing I've left to do is clean the kitchen. Those are the headphones. If any of you tune into the streams, you'll recognize those. That's what I use for editing videos and for the streams themselves. Over here, this is where I keep my markers. Down here, this is Aeon. She's my main system that I use for the streams, or for gaming, or watching content, or anything. Everything except for editing, because she sucks at editing. And there's my phone hanging out there, calculator. That right there is an extra hard drive, because Aeon's storage capacity is sad. It's less than 1 terabyte, and that's a 1 terabyte hard drive that I got from Free Geek, which is pretty cool. There's most of my pony collection, and my glasses that I never wear. There's a chair in the way. Hang on. It's hard to get the setup because chair in the way. So yep, that's my collection of ponies and an Aibo that I painted myself. There's some more dolls. There's some chewing gum. I chew a lot of gum. Some more ponies, as well as some of those mini brands things. And then some glasses spray. There's a little Lego seahorse, my Mega One Grit. And then, of course, zooming back out. So here's the whole setup. It's not like fancy gaming stuff, but you know, it gets the job done. Like, I have my 2 monitors, my keyboard, which is a Razer Cynosa Chroma from like 5-6 years ago. My wrist rests that are falling apart, my mouse, which is a SteelSeries Aero 5 that I lost the dongle to. Then there's my chair with my dog bone pillow. I have a memory foam cushion, and then another cushion below that keep falling off. Over here lives all of my discs and things. So in this cabinet here, this is where I keep all of my PC software and my music. There's my Walkman that I just got, and that's my Xbox controller that I use for the PC. And then below that, this is my DVD and Blu-ray collection. I've been building that up because I'm starting to get fed up with streaming. So these will all get their own separate video as well, but yeah, those all live down there. Then if we scooch over this way, that is my ring con and the leg strap that I use for ring fits because going to the gym is boring. Right there, that's the capture card in EVGA XR1 Lite that I use for streams and sometimes capturing video for videos, but mostly streams. And then we slowly trickle our way up here. Hold on, I gotta get up. Oop, hit the chair. That's my drink, don't mind that. Right there, that is the camera that I use for the streams. Normally it's on a tripod, but the tripod is Akipado right now, so it's a Logitech Brio 4K Stream Edition that I use that doesn't want to cooperate sometimes. Over here, there's the TV. Yep, so that's the TV that I use. It's kind of old. It's not a smart TV or anything. It is an older TV, I want to say from the mid-2010s or so, but it has a Roku connected to it over there. That's the sensor bar. It's stacked up on a bunch of games because if any of you guys tried to watch my New Blood stream, I was having some issues with the sensor bar acting goobery because it was too low, so fixed it. Over here is my microphone. So this is the Blue Yeti that I use for my streams, and actually everything. That really needs a new cable because it's annoying. So, work our way over here. Over here is another shelf of a bunch of random stuff. So, there is my Mega Man figure. I got the GameCube lives over here. This is what I used for the mask and for the wig that I wear when I show my face, because I don't want to show my face. That is my Echo that controls all the lights, except for the pencil. Over there is where I keep a lot of my games, my Switch. That is not the original dock that it came with. This is a launch Switch, so the Animal Crossing dock I got refurbished because the other one broke. Below that, that is my Monster Energy and Monster High doll collection, as well as my Spouts collection. Don't worry, all of those Monster Energy cans have been cleaned before they've been put on the shelf. I wouldn't just put them on the shelf without cleaning them. That's gross. Again, they'll get their own separate video in the future. Below that, we have the Wii U and the Xbox One S, as well as in the back, the controller I use for it, which is, funny enough, a Project Scorpio controller, and the Disney Infinity Pad, because according to Microsoft, Disney Infinity 3.0 should work with the Xbox One, and it doesn't. And then below that, that is the PS5 that right now has been designated as a Blu-ray player. And over there is my Princess Twilight Sparkle toy that I've had since like 2013 or so. Alright, lifting up, there's the maximum fire hazard section. Little lap desk that I use, lift up. There's some more dolls. That's the Pixlings. This is my G5 MLPs. They live in this window because I don't have any spots for them. I swear to God, all the doll collectors are gonna be like, oh, why you put your toys in the window? They're gonna get bleached. I'm like, I don't have any other spots for them. Just deal with it. That's the window. You can see outside. There's trees. Alright, and then below that, here's the bed. I have a bunch of plushes on there because I like plushes. It's very colorful. It's got a bunch of throw blankets on there, including this one that was actually handmade by one of my former employees. Not employees, co-workers. One of my former co-workers when I left my previous job. So, very nice. I love this blanket so much. There's my giant whale plush. I'll do another video on all the plushes and stuff that I have because I have a lot of them. Over here, fan, because this room gets insanely hot, and for a long time I wasn't allowed to have the door open because we had cats and they were not allowed in here because they're mischievous little idiots. Over here, this is a skateboard that I painted. It doesn't have any kit. I just haven't been able to get anything for it yet. But I call this the N board. Get it? Because it's NB, the non-binary flag. I had a lot of fun making this. So, pride flag, because you can never have too many pride flags. That's just the standard 6 rainbow flag. I do have another one that's on the honorary desk over there, but yeah. It's trash and recycling. That little Deliza Cream Puffs box actually has my Pokemon cards in there. Just don't really have a better spot for it right now. Up here, this is my headphone rack, including my HD 600s, my earpods that I'm wearing usually stay in there. So a set of Skull Candies and my KZ, I think they're ZSX Pros or something like that. They live up there. Over there, that's the lantern that I also painted myself. So that's the little Amazon light that hangs out in there. It's like a little Echo Glow or something like that hangs out in there. It's actually not this bright in person. My camera kind of oversells it a little bit. And then here's my mini duck collection. These miniature duck figures I keep finding. These ones all down here glow in the dark, but the ones above there don't. Over here, that's the PS5 controller, and that's the Pro controller for the Switch. Both of those have little drawing figures on them. Yeah, he's missing a hand. It's in a bag somewhere. Over here, I have a roll of toilet paper that I use for tissues, and inside, we got, hands don't work, this thing, which is it's a little black light flashlight. Pretty cool, pretty cool. That just lives in there. That's the remote that goes to the fan. This is my Wii U gamepad. I use it as a TV remote, so that's why it lives over here. Down there's Roku remote. These drawers, this is like a junk drawer. This one used to have books before I moved the books out to the hallway. That's a kit of massage tools, wooden massage tools, because my muscles ache all the time. All right, moving over here, past the fan that I hopefully won't bump into. That is a sign that I created for a Pride Parade last year, and it says Queer Love in Raw XD, and it's got a bunch of rainbow queer stuff, including a little MLP fan character I made. There's a sparkle dog. That's that top one is something that came from Astaf movie. Over here, this is a piñata of the TikTok logo that I got during a Rage event. And on top of it, it has some Lays. There's a rock candy controller, and then a bunch of beads. This was a little thing that I made for National Coming Out Day about 2 years ago, I guess, year and a half ago. Little flag. I know it's a bit goobery, but I didn't have a lot of time to work on it. Over here, got some posters. Here's a Daft Punk poster. I really like Daft Punk. Sad they broke up. Little pom-pom. Right there, that's a Gorillaz poster. I've been a fan of Gorillaz since the Demon Days era. So, down here, that's one of those Be Kind signs that I've been working on. It's gonna say Be Kind Rewind. I just haven't finished it. It's all Blockbuster inspired. Some more dolls. There's my Decor Girls. Right there, we got Barbie in a wheelchair. I got a Vampirina doll that I picked up from a thrift store because Vampire Girls. That's a Secret Crush doll, just getting her face smushed in. Otherwise she'll flop on her face. I got a Frankie styling head that has hair extensions. The little shelf thing they're on is actually a monitor stand that I was using for a little while, but once I got the dual monitor set up, I didn't need it anymore, so. And then over here is my arcade machine with some more dolls on them because it's funny, watching them play games. This is one of those arcade one-up machines that my dad got from one of his friends, and it's specifically for Rampage, but there's 4 games on here: Rampage, Gauntlet, Joust, and Defender. So, pretty neat little addition, and got it at such a good price. I really want to learn how to mod this thing, because I really want to put Q*bert and Pac-Man and Dig Dug on here, among others, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet, so but either way, it's just a neat little thing, especially having the background of videos, so. Although this may get moved out into the living space. I haven't figured it out yet. And then behind that's another poster of Hatsune Miku. Her face doesn't look that smushed IRL. Hang on. It's just the ankle. Posters don't want to stay up for some reason. But yeah, there's Hatsune Miku. And then below that, laundry. If you're wondering why I have 2 laundry baskets, one is specifically for clothes to wash. That's this white one here. And this blue one in the background, that is actually for clothes that I can re-wear again, but are too dirty to put away. So stuff like pants, hoodies, things like that go in there. And finally, we have the closet. Has a bunch of little things dangling down. Like there's my Invader Zim purse. I got an umbrella. That's a fan. And then that's a Punarite, I think is what they're called. Which is like Spin Master, and I think Takara Tomi's answer to Tamagotchi, I think. So release the smells. And there it is. That's it's like a little walk-in closet, so you can just, it's where I keep all my clothes. So there's my shirts. It's got a bunch of random stuff in here. Just stuff I didn't really know where else to put it. Like that's where I keep all my jewelry. There's like my backpack. I have a bunch of bags of clothes in here just because of, I'm trying to sell some stuff. Over there's my suitcase, and then that gray container is where I keep all my plushes that are not on the bed. And then this thing, this big, what do you call, ottoman, I guess? This has like all my art supplies in here. So, over there, that's jewelry. Those wigs go to one of my Failfix dolls. That's half of the belts. The other half of the belts live down there. And then over there is like my plush backpack collection. I keep some other accessories like a rainbow cowboy hat. I got some boxes and bags, and like that's a Wii bag. I keep my doll accessories in here, light bulbs, stuff like that. And so, yeah. And the light is actually motion sensing. Yeah, it did have a pull string, but I actually broke it. iPhone cameras also don't like to focus anymore. Okay, we're gonna move back down here. It doesn't want to focus. It had a pull string. God, why won't you focus? There you go. It's not so hard. iPhone camera problems, am I right? Anyway, it did have a pull string in here, but it popped off, and I had to have maintenance come in and fix the light, so they just added a motion light. So, yeah, that's my room. So, yeah. Jump cut! Now we get to do the outfit of the week. So, what do I got on this week? Well, for starters, I got this tie-dye shirt for an ice cream place called Lone Oak in Rochester, New Hampshire. Every time we go up there, I always have to get the same exact thing, a kid's cone of their bubblegum ice cream. Their kids' cones are huge, by the way. Like, what we would normally refer to as a regular size cone, that's the size of their kids' cone. I'm not joking. Their cones are huge. So, like, you know, hashtag not spawn, just a very happy customer. They used to do shirts, like, once a year. They used to sell shirts. However, it seems like they stopped doing that around 2020 or so, I'm guessing. They still do have some shirts, but they don't make, like, new ones anymore, which is a big shame. So, this one was one from last year that I think what happens is they give the shirts to their employees, and then any leftover they sell. I have one from 2020 as well that I'll probably wear in a different episode. Alright, for the pants, I gotta have to lower this, so bear with me, my peoples. That should be good, hopefully. Alright, that should do it. So pants, I don't know if you can see them super well, so I'll do like this. So pants, we have, these are like flare / boot cut ripped black skinny jeans that I picked up from the same clothing swap that I got my Converses from last week's episode in. These I don't wear too often. They look amazing, but God, they are tight and they are very uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time, but they look so cute. They're very like 2000s, mixing in like the trend of skinny jeans with like the more boot cut flare look. Just I love how they look, I just do not love how they feel. Alright, gonna go ahead and lift the thingy back up. Okay, not wearing shoes this week because I didn't leave the apartment because I didn't need to. So for accessories, I got some more candy on. I'm also swaying out of frame, I think. I don't know. So I got some candy. So first up, we got this, which is like I guess calling this candy is a bit of a stretch, but it's essentially like a little bracelet that's made out of these candy striped little discs. It's pretty cool. Under that is the shit bracelet. So I was trying to make a series of candy based on the Blink-182 song Family Reunion, which is literally them just shouting a bunch of swear words. I was trying to make candy based on that, so yeah, that's what this is for, the shit bracelet. This one's an oldie. So next up is I Pooted. Yes, as in like cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is an oldie. This was like one of my first candies, actually. It's very rainbow. It's funny. Same Apple Watch band as last week. Under that, got the Queers Bash back bracelet that I also showed off last week. Under that is one of my RAR XD Gothic Rainbow bracelets. I actually have like 2 or 3 RAR XD bracelets because I just like making them. Oh boy. This so far is the only attempt at a double bracelet that I've made. So in the candy world, a single is like just a standard bracelet. This is a double. It's kind of when you start getting into cuff territory. This is the only one I've made so far. I just haven't really experimented too much with candy, so it's just a basic rainbow. Look, the band's also starting to change color. I don't know how well that'll show up on camera, but it's like turning brown. This is kind of old, so. Other wrist, this is kind of just a basic candy, like Gothic Rainbow look, but it's made out of like glass beads or acrylic beads rather than standard plastic ones. It's like a fancy candy, if you will. Here's another bracelet from the Family Reunion collection. This one says Cocksucker, and it's got black and rainbow. Next one is like just beads that were chosen at random, and it says Rave. So, harkens back to where candy comes from. After that, this one is for Rainbow Dash. Yes, as in like MLP. I have a collection of MLP candies that I made, and this one is for Rainbow Dash. So, see, it's got the beads that represent our cutie mark, then the beads that represent our mane and tail. Wish I had a Rainbow Dash bead. That would be cool. It's stuck. Okay, come on. This one. Oh. This one is another one that I showed off last week. This is the Love is Love bracelet that I got from a Pride Parade. It's made out of like little glass beads. It's quite lovely. And lastly, this is the hashtag RARXD. Just like with the hashtag Rage bracelet that I had last week, this one's pretty faded terms of the text, but it's supposed to say hashtag RARXD, and there's a heartbeat in between. And this is another herring or dog bone bracelet. See? So that's it for the candy. As for the necklaces, I've got on, I think, was I wearing these last week? No, I wasn't. This is a rainbow tattoo choker that, funny enough, I got from like Goodwill in their jewelry section. And this is a necklace that I've made out of Monster Energy taps. So it's got black on the outside and then a rainbow on the inside. And finally, for accessories, I got don't know how well this is showing up on camera. These earrings that say Bite Me on them that I literally picked up from a thrift store for 50 cents. And these are like my favorite earrings. And that's gonna do it for this week's video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace, love, and RRC. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Okay.